Hey everyone, welcome back to Tired Old Queen at the Movies with Mr. Steve Hayes. This week Steve's got something great for us, so let's go check him out. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, and you can also subscribe right down here on the YouTube channel.
John. Tired Old Queen at the Movies.
I decided to recommend a movie from the 1950s that I love so much. Terrance Rattigan's Separate Tables, starring Burt Lancaster, Rita Hayworth, Deborah Kerr, and David Niven, and directed by Delbert Mann. This movie was produced by Burt Lancaster's production company, Hecht Hill Lancaster, and originally it was supposed to be starring Lawrence and directed by Laurence Olivier with Vivien Leigh, because in the Broadway production, the four lead characters were played by two actors, Margaret Leighton and Eric Portman. But when he acquired the rights to it, Lancaster thought he could make more mileage if he broke the four parts up and hired four actors instead. So Olivier bowed out, Vivien Leigh bowed out, and he cast the wife of his partner, Rita Hayworth, and Deborah Kerr and David Niven, and he took the other part. It's basically about the lonely lives of people who are all thrown together in this guest house on the Bournemouth coast in England on the off season and what happens. And they're all very lonely people on a separate journey. David Niven won the Academy Award for this performance. He plays a colonel who has been accused of making passes at women indiscriminately in a movie theater.
I don't know. I'm made in a certain way and I can't change it. It has to be the dark, you see, and strangers because... Stop!
And he befriends a lonely spinster girl whose domineering mother keeps her under her thumb all the time, and that's played by Deborah Kerr.
Because we're both afraid of life and people and sex.
Residing over the whole place is the proprietor, played by Wendy Hiller, who also won the Academy Award, who's in love with Burt Lancaster. But he's still in love with his wife, Rita Hayworth, who comes to the hotel and causes a lot of trouble.
If all I wanted to do was make my husband a slave, why would I have chosen you and not the others?
It's essentially a well-made play. It's a good drama. It takes place mostly indoors. It was shot on a set in England. There was Cathleen Nesbit was in this. She was a lovely older actress at the time. Gladys Cooper, who played the mother, was a really sort of domineering actress who had played Betty Davis's mother in Now Voyager, and she loved to play those kind of witchy parts.
Well, shall we say the more furtive forms of sexual expression?
I think your attitude is shocking.
But she finally ended her career playing Henry Higgins' mother in My Fair Lady. Lancaster was at the height of his charisma and his stardom. And Rita Hayworth was sort of on the way, her career was subsiding, and this was sort of a sad sort of role that commented a little bit on her own career, that, you know, she was getting older and her beauty was fading, and what was she going to do?
John, don't go. Don't leave me now, John. John, come back to my room. I can make you forget all those silly lies.
The movie was nominated for multiple Academy Awards. As I said, it won 2. And it's just one of those movies that you curl up on a Sunday afternoon and watch. And when it's over, you go, oh boy, that was so good. Burt Lancaster, Rita Hayworth, Deborah Kerr, David Niven, and Wendy Hiller in Terrance Rattigan's Separate Tables.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.